Korea heads to the polls tomorrow for the June 3rd nationwide local elections, the first major vote since President Lee Jae Myung took office. Now, with a record-breaking early voter turnout and a high-stakes battle for Seoul City Hall, all eyes are on what the results could signal about the new government's political standing. For more, we are joined by our political correspondent Hye-ryeon tonight. Welcome back, Hye-ryeon.
Good evening, Dami.
So, Hye-ryeon, walk us through tomorrow's election day deadline. Timeline first.
Right. So tomorrow the polls will start opening at 6 a.m. and it'll close at 6 p.m. across more than 14,000 voting stations nationwide. And once polls close, results start coming in fast. Exit polls from the three major broadcasters, KBS, MBC and SBS, could be released around 15 to 20 minutes following the vote, with the first actual counts expected around 7:30 p.m. That being said, in tight races, final results may not be clear until 3 or 4 in the morning, and counting could run longer than usual this cycle because of newly strengthened ballot verification procedures. Politically, this election carries significant weight because it is the first nationwide vote since President Lee Jae Myung took office. So beyond local governance, the results are also being viewed as an early measure of public sentiment towards the new administration.
Indeed, the election comes timely since it marks 1 year since the Lee Jae Myung administration began just exactly a year ago. Now, Hye-ryeon, walk us through the early voting that wrapped up with a record high voter turnout. So what's the significance of the turnout?
So, right, let's take a look at the numbers. So the early voting rate came in at 23.51%, the highest ever recorded for a local election in Korea, with more than 10 million people casting ballots early for the first time. And regionally, turnout was the strongest in the traditionally liberal southwest, especially Jeollanam province at nearly 39%. Seoul recorded just under 24%, while Busan came in at around 21%. So both parties are claiming that this is good news for them. Speaking at a party leadership meeting Tuesday morning, Democratic Party floor leader Han Byung-do urged voters to back what he called the Lee administration's economic agenda.
For this June 3rd local election, we ask voters to support the Lee Jae Myung administration, a capable Democratic Party, and a major leap forward for the economy.
The People Power Party, meanwhile, argues the high turnout reflects growing frustration with President Lee and the ruling party, essentially a protest vote in disguise, and is making a strong push for younger voters ahead of Election Day. People Power Party floor leader Song Won-seok made a direct appeal to voters in their 20s and 30s.
Your vote can change your life, change the country, and shape the future. The People Power Party will stand behind and support young people.
But the reality is that neither side can be sure, because back in 2022, early turnout also topped 20%, yet the final turnout settled at just under 51%. The real deciding factor tomorrow will be how many moderate and metropolitan voters, especially in the Greater Seoul area, actually show up on Election Day.
Now, Hye-ryeon, before I let you go, remind us the key races that everyone will be watching closely tomorrow.
So Seoul is the headline race. There's no question about that. The Democratic Party candidate Chung Won-ho and incumbent People Power Party Mayor Oh Se-hun are in a very tight contest. If Oh wins, he becomes the first 5-term Seoul mayor in history and keeps the momentum going for the current city administration. But if Chung pulls off a win, it would be the first time the Democratic Party controls Seoul City Hall in roughly a decade. The final stretch has been dominated by safety concerns, a rebar emission controversy on a GTX transit project, and a bridge collapse put infrastructure squarely in the spotlight. So both candidates are trying to own the safety issue while also drawing a clear contrast on housing. Chung is emphasizing public-led supply while always pushing private redevelopment. And Busan is the other major battleground where Democratic candidate Chun Jae-soo is challenging incumbent Park Hyung-jun. Both parties know that if they lose Busan, it will significantly shift the political balance heading into the next few years. So expect both party leaderships to be pulling out all the stops tonight in the final campaign pushes.
Indeed. A big day ahead of us tomorrow. Do keep us posted. Hye-ryeon. I'll see you tomorrow.
Thanks for having me tonight.